video I'm going to continue from the Terraform series. Okay, so if you have not watched the previous video, I would recommend you to go ahead and watch the video first so that we can continue from there. Okay, so basically that we are doing in the previous video, we had created AWS VPC resource by using a resource block, right? So it was very straightforward. We gave some of argument and we were saw how to create VPC using Terraform commands. Also now let us continue from there. We are trying to build the network architecture that is required for the AWS infrastructure. Okay, so basically VPC has no effect on your infrastructure, so it is going to help you anywhere, right? So you need a subnet and need internet gateway to you know route traffic to internet, right? So you need private subnet and you need public subnet, so don't worry about the architecture. So we are going to build a project at the end, but in this video we just introduce how you can reference one resource with another resource. Okay, for that I have taken example. We will create an VPC, one subnet, one public subnet, one private subnet. So for enabling public internet connectivity to your public subnet or the VPC, we need an internet gateway. So we are also going to create an internet gateway. Okay, I'll speak about this later, but if you know the flow of creating the custom VPC, it will be really useful for you. So what I always do is, if I learn about EC2 or VPC, I'm I'm creative. You just you just follow some steps that we need to complete the execution. For example, if you learn to create a custom VPC, so some steps we have to follow that, like we have to select the region, create VPC, enable DNS host name in the VPC, etc, etc. So it'll keep it with me. Yeah, so the first step that we will do when we create a custom VPC is selecting the region. In which region are you going to create the VPC? Basically, AWS provides their custom VPC, their default VPC in all the regions. So they have the fixed CIDR block for those VPCs that they create, right? So rest of the thing will have to create that VPC with all the components that we want for the execution. So if you see here, VPC is the default VPC that we have, and this is all the CIDR will always the same. Okay, so this has got an importance if you want to know about the CIDR. I have made a separate video on that. Go ahead and watch that video. Okay, so coming back to the VPC script, so we will select the region. If you want to create a VPC in same way, what you can do is in the Terraform you can select a region. If you know the answer where you select the region, so drop in the comments. But if your answer is provider.tf, you are absolutely right. Actually, whatever the thing that you mention here, so it will be taken, or else while creating the IAM profile. If you remember, we created an IAM profile in the previous video that we provided the default region. If you provide default region, if you do not specify any region in your VPC or whatever the infrastructure that you created, will be created in that particular region. Okay, so so the point is clear to you. Okay, moving on, the next we will create the VPC. So we have to see how to create a VPC. So this is the resource block which create a VPC infrastructure. Okay, so if you see here, I have name as Terraform VPC. uh, Next thing, enable DNS host name in the VPC. That is also done. If you see here, the fourth line, enable DNS option host name, we have to set that as true. By default it will be false. So we have the Chona. Okay, so these are the so some steps that I have to follow this one, but it will be easy if you go through this. Okay, the next one is internet gateway. We need to attach internet gateway to your VPC in which we are beginning. So till here we have to complete it in the previous video. We will see how to done it. Okay, fourth point is to create internet gateway. Fifth point is to attach internet gateway to the VPC. Okay, so this is the resource block of your internet gateway. As you have already known, so you when you want to create new resources, you need to add a resource block. Okay, so this is the resource type AWS. Underscore internet underscore gateway is the resource type, and this is the logical name I'm giving the internet gateway. Okay, you can give any name, but to understand I'm just giving this one. Now you might ask me, where did you get this block? So what if you want to know, right, you can just copy the VPC ID and tags, and what you want to give the name, like I give the name Terraform IGW. IGW stands for Internet Gateway. Yeah, the idea of the Internet Gateway, the idea of AWS owners, and the tags that the map of assigned to the resources include those inherited from the provider. So, so the next step we have to follow, that we have to uh, attach a public and private subnet to it. So the next step is we have to attach internet gateway to VPC. So after that we have to create a public subnet and enable auto assign public IP settings. So here the next one is we have to create public subnets. For that we have to put resource like AWS subnet public hyphen subnet, and after that we have to put AWS ID, CIDR block, availability zone, which we have to choose. Then the next one is map public IP on launch, which is true, as you see in the documentation of Terraform. Yeah, so the next one is we have to create public route table and add public route to the public route table and associate the public subnet with the public route table. After that we have to create the private subnet and create NAT gateway in public subnet. So this is few steps for the creation of AWS. So the next one is we have to put we have to create public subnet. For that we have to put resource. Our resource is AWS subnet, public subnet, in which we have to, as you know, put the VPC IDs, availability zones, and after that we have to give it name, that is Terraform public subnet. So after that we have to create public route table. So firstly, after in this we have to again put resource, that is AWS route table, public route table, in which we have to take VPC ID, CIDR block and gateway ID. Gateway ID is simply that we have to just copy it above from the above script. So here are, after this we have to associate the route, public route to the public route table, in which we have to also provide resource subnet IDs, route table IDs, which they all are given. So the next one is resource for AWS subnet, private subnet, in which we also put VPC ID, CIDR block, availability zones, which are almost same like public subnet. So some tags, and I'll give it the name which is Terraform private subnet. So yeah, we have to associate the private subnet with the public route table. So here are the some script of the VPC, in which we have to attach route table, public subnet, and that so after that we have to just run our script. So the first step the uh, for the script run, which is we have to run the command. The very first command is terraform init. So basically terraform init is, so the terraform init command initialize a working directory containing terraform configure file. This is the first command that should be run after writing a terraform configuration or existing one from version control. So here we have to see that our initialize is successful. uh, so it is safe to run this command multiple times. So the uh, so it assumes that the working directory already contains a configuration. So the next command is terraform plan. So basically terraform plan, so the terraform plan command create an execution plan which lets you preview the changes that terraform plans to make your infrastructure. By default, when terraform creates a plan, it reads the current state of already existing remote, compares the current configuration, proposes that change actions it should, if applied, make a remote object match the configuration. So the next one is terraform apply. Terraform apply commands execute the action proposed in the terraform plan. It is used to deploy your infrastructure. Typically apply should be run after the terraform init and terraform plan. So it will ask for the value. Terraform will perform the action described. Only yes will be accepted. So enter a value. I'll put it yes. Then you have to see our AWS VPC. Our subnet is still creating. So it takes some time. So we have to wait for a couple of minutes. So yeah, it's still creating. So yeah, apply complete. So you have all the subnets, route table, internet gateway are creating with the help of Terraform. So it is pretty much simple. You just have to copy this code from the Harshikov, which is official side of Terraform. You just simply changes by your choice. Then you have to run your script with the three basic commands like init, plan, and apply. So your VPC subnet route table internet gateway is already with the use of Terraform. So this is very simple. So here you have seen our subnets are created like public and private, our route table. So yeah, route table is created. So the next one is our internet gateway. Yeah, so subnet is created. So it is pretty much simple. You have just copied the code from HashiCorp and run the script with the use of three command. So that's all from my side. Thank you and bye bye.